In this world, the most challenging thing to control and keep in check is our mind. It is often referred to as a monkey mind because it is extremely restless. Just as a monkey leaps from branch to branch, the mind jumps from one thought to another. It seems that everyone wants to have their mind under control. When the mind is in control, the tasks we undertake are done well and correctly. Whether it is reading, business, work, meditation, or any other activity, engaging the mind fully in it is crucial. Only then does a person achieve success. However, this process is not as easy as it sounds. But with the right approach and effort, it is not impossible either. Long ago, there were Zen masters in a village. One day, they were explaining meditation to their disciples. At that time, one disciple said, "Masters, I have been troubled for a long time. There is a question that haunts me. I have tried to find an answer to it, but I have not found one. Please help me resolve my confusion." The Zen masters told the disciple to ask himself what doubts were in his mind. The disciple replied, "When I am thirsty and drink water, the thirst is quenched. When anyone is thirsty and drinks water, their thirst is quenched. Water works the same way for everyone. But why does meditation not work the same way? We practice meditation according to the rules you have given us, but some people advance in meditation very quickly, others progress after some time, and still others do not progress at all despite their efforts. This question has been troubling me for a long time. Why is it that meditation does not work the same way for everyone, unlike how water quenches thirst equally for all?" Hearing the disciples' words, the master smiled and said, "I understand your question. When you sit for meditation, your mind does not always become absorbed in meditation, does it? Why does this happen? Some people's minds become concentrated in meditation very quickly, some after a while, and some not at all. Is that not so?" The disciple nodded in agreement. The master told the disciple, "Your difficulty in becoming absorbed in meditation is not unique to you. It is a common issue for everyone. You will get the answer to your question tomorrow, so do not worry about it. Tomorrow, I have been invited to a meal. Come with me. Let us both go." The disciple nodded in agreement. The next day, when the master left, the disciple accompanied him. After a while, they arrived at the house of a wealthy man. The wealthy man welcomed them and invited them to sit. He also joined them at the table. The host instructed his wife to prepare a meal for the three of them. All three sat down for the meal. As the host began to eat, he got up in anger, criticizing the food as tasteless and poorly prepared. Seeing this, his wife was upset. She apologized to the Zen master and the disciple and promised to prepare another meal in a few moments. The master replied, "No, the food is actually very tasty. There is no need to prepare a new meal. Please do not be upset." The master left 2 pieces of bread from his meal and asked his host's wife to give them to the host. She did so. Before leaving, the master spoke to the host. The host expressed regret for his behavior and asked for forgiveness. On the way, the master asked the disciple how the meal had been. The disciple replied, "The food was very tasty." When the master asked if there was anything else the disciple felt, the disciple responded that the food was indeed delicious and that he was full. The master said, "The meal was indeed tasty. The same food was served to the wealthy man as well. But why did he not appreciate it?" Hearing this, the disciple began to reflect. Eventually, he said, "You are right, I hadn't thought about it." "Please explain," the master replied. "All right, stay with me, and I will explain on the way." They continued walking for a long distance. The disciple then asked, "Master, aren't we heading towards the ashram?" The Zen master said, "Just keep walking with me." After a short distance, they encountered a poor man coming from the opposite direction. The poor man greeted the masters and asked for help, saying he hadn't eaten anything for the past 4 days and was very hungry. The master guided him to sit under a tree and gave him the 2 pieces of bread he had kept. The poor man began to eat the bread, tears streaming from his eyes. He was crying and moving his hands as if in worship of an unseen force. After eating, he thanked the masters and said, "The food was filled with life, it seemed as if God himself was present in it," and then he left. The master said, "See, it was the same bread, but the wealthy man did not find it tasty, while it was pleasant for us, and for this poor man, it contained the divine presence. It was filled with life for him." The same food gave different experiences to different people. The wealthy man felt no satisfaction, we felt a little satisfaction, and the poor man felt complete satisfaction. This same principle applies to meditation. The master continued, "The intensity of one's hunger for mental peace determines how quickly one progresses in meditation. Those who are aware of the benefits of meditation can achieve it." The answer to your question has been given by the master's words. Now, let us return to the ashram. As they walked, the master added, "Understanding this is not as easy as you might think. If you want your mind to be focused in meditation, you first need to understand your mind. Without understanding it, you will not be able to engage it in meditation." Hearing this, the disciple was filled with a deep desire to understand the master's words fully. He requested further clarification. The master explained, "Look, the mind is very restless. It is very difficult to gain control over such a restless mind. If you do not achieve control, the mind becomes disturbed. The mind will be filled with countless doubts and questions. As long as answers to these questions are not found, there will be no peace. Thus, we cannot engage the mind effectively in any task. Therefore, a calm mind is essential for meditation." The disciple asked, "Then how can we keep our minds calm?" The master replied, "To achieve this, you must first understand your mind. Only then will you be able to keep it calm. When your mind is calm, you will know that your mind is under your control." The master continued, "Listen carefully, I will tell you 5 ways to understand your mind. First, you need to understand the desires that arise in your mind. Our mind generates many kinds of desires and greed. These desires cause restlessness in the mind. Those who understand this also understand their mind. This is the first step towards understanding the mind." The disciple asked, "How do we know if our mind is showing us desires? How can we determine whether the desires that arise in our mind are beneficial or not?" The master replied, "This is understood through personal experience. Those who fall victim to desires often experience various kinds of disappointments. These experiences of disappointment help in understanding the mind. Second, you should seek out those who have understood their own minds. Such individuals can show you the right path. Saints, sages, wise people, and gurus are examples of such individuals. By associating with them, you can progress in understanding your own mind." The master continued with further instructions on how to understand and control the mind, emphasizing the importance of personal experience and learning from those who have achieved mastery over their own minds. Once you find those who understand their own minds, the third step is to follow their guidance. The disciple asked, "How do we recognize such individuals? Can we identify them by just observing them?" The master replied, "You cannot recognize a person merely by looking at them. They may appear serene outwardly, but the true state of their mind is revealed only through their words. Words can provide insight into a person. Therefore, you should not trust anyone until you have understood their mind through their words." The fourth step to understanding the mind involves evaluating the actions you perform. You need to determine whether your actions are going in the right direction. People often make 2 mistakes in life: starting a task but not completing it, or not starting a task at all. These mistakes arise from the mind's thoughts. Some people think, "I will start the work tomorrow," while others think, "I will not succeed in this task." Such mistakes are caused by a lack of understanding. A mind lacking in understanding prevents a person from following the right path. The fifth step is that work done without proper understanding is equivalent to death. The disciple asked, then, how can we develop understanding? The master replied, for that, you need to be absorbed in meditation. Meditation can increase your understanding. This is the ultimate path. Meditation is like a boat. Sitting in this boat of meditation allows you to cross the river of the mind. A calm mind can think and understand everything correctly. The master concluded, those who have mastered these understandings keep their minds completely under their control. The disciple now understood. He thanked the master once more, followed the guidance provided, gained control over his mind, and became absorbed in meditation. Dear listeners, if you like this story, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for new stories. This will promote our interest to create even more better stories for you. Many of you people don't subscribe after listening to the story. Do subscribe for my channel.